My name is Dennis. I'm a stroke victim, and exactly 10 years ago this year, I had a really bad stroke, and I was in the hospital for 30 days. So, you know, in order to stay in the hospital for 30 days, you almost have to be dead anymore. It's really a bad deal. They just kick you out right away. So I was there 30 days, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I was really at my ends with, you know, I just couldn't figure out what I would be able to do. I figured my life was over. But I met Shuyuan. She was my nurse, or my therapist, actually. Not a nurse, she was a physical therapist. And she did a great job on me. And she was able to, this hand was really bad. I couldn't make a fist at all with this hand. And now I can make a fist, and I can also raise both hands up together, which is, when a person has a stroke, they can't do this. They just can't put the two hands up. So that's a good way to tell if somebody's had a stroke. Ask them just to raise their hands. But my shoulder was separated, and we worked on the shoulder and got the hand working again, so I can now move it around, but I can squeeze it, and I got a lot of strength in this hand again. At one time, my hand just hung there. But we're here at a golf course today because one of my main things was I wanted to get back to play golf with the guys. I really enjoyed the camaraderie. The stroke settled in that day, and the next morning when I woke up, I was in pretty bad shape. I couldn't get out of bed, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't walk, couldn't stand up, just couldn't, and my left arm just hung. It just hung, it would not, I couldn't even move it. So it was a bad deal. I was really depressed, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know what direction I was going to turn in, and I didn't know anything about the physical therapy or anything like that. And I had regular nurses taking care of me, you know, and making sure I got to the bathroom and making sure they gave me my medicine and things like that. But I didn't know what I was going to do in the future, what I'd be able to do, because I figured, well, I wouldn't be able to drive or anything like that in a car. And I didn't drive for almost a year. I think it was 9 months or 10 months before I finally had to go take the driver's test and start all over. And that was a really harrowing experience. It was bad. But if you put your mind to it and you know what God has dealt you, then you handle it, and you do what you can with it, and it gets better. It really gets better. Every day gets better. They assigned Shuyuan to me, and I right away I felt a good connection with her. That she seemed very interested in me, and so I sort of I had a lot of confidence in her. She instilled it in me, and she made me quit feeling sorry for myself, and that was important, and she inspired me a lot. So I thought, I knew that if I had to get better, I had to do what she told me, and that's what I did. And a lot of times I couldn't do everything. I tried hard, but she wasn't gentle with me. She really hurt my arm. She really hurt my scapula. I mean, really hurt. Worst pain I ever had in my life, but it did put it back together, so it was worth it. And I asked the doctor the one day, when will I be able to do this with that hand? And he told me, he said, Dennis, he says, I'm not going to lie to you. He said, I don't give that hand much chance at all. And I told Shuyuan about it, and she said, well, we'll work on it. So that encouraged me that she did. And by God, I mean, I can move it. And now it was really frozen at one time. It just wouldn't move. And I had no strength in it whatsoever, no strength. Couldn't squeeze anything. But now I can make a fist and a good one. And I got a lot of strength in this arm.
I wasn't really worried about what was going to happen, was just worried about whether he was going to survive and make it. So the therapy was tough. His therapist, I believe his name might have been Kevin, I'm not sure, but anyway, it was time for him to work on this hand, and I was in the process of looking for a hand therapist, and he mentioned Shuyuan to me, and we went and talked to her, and this is how we got her, and it was the best thing he did.